This is video number 2, and this one's going to be all about lab equipment. So the goal of this video is I want you to be able to identify a piece of lab equipment. I want you to be able to use each piece confidently, and we'll have a lot of practice in class together. And I want you to be able to describe the units associated with each piece. So if you're talking about a triple beam balance, you'll know that it's supposed to be grams. This is a beaker. Beaker is really good for holding liquids, and it's mainly used for storage. It's kind of terrible for measuring volume accurately, and it comes in many sizes. We have gargantuan ones, we have kind of small and medium, and then we have the tiny ones that I like to call baby beakers. The unit you'll use with a beaker, if you end up using one, is milliliters, and make sure you're doing lowercase m and capital L. The next one is a graduated cylinder. Now, unlike a beaker, a graduated cylinder is excellent for measuring volume. It is the most precise and accurate piece of lab equipment you can use for volume. This too comes in many sizes. I have some as small as 10 milliliters, and I have some as much as 250. They come in both plastic and glass, and sometimes they have like a ring around them if they're glass, and that's to help in case they fall over so that they don't break. Graduated cylinders, much like beakers, also use milliliters as their unit. I want you to know the 3 steps, and we'll practice this in class together, in order to accurately read a graduated cylinder. So the first one is you need to make sure you're on a flat surface. You don't want to be on an incline, because of course that's going to change where your liquid is. If it is not at eye level for you, I want you to scrouch right down, take a knee, kneel, whatever it is that you need to do so that your eyes are exactly the same level as that liquid. And then I want you to read the bottom of the meniscus. And the meniscus is that little, I don't know if you can see it right here, the kind of looks like an upside down or a U. You're going to read where that bottom is, not the sides. Right in the middle is that meniscus. Alright, test tubes is something we are going to use a lot in chemistry. We have test tube racks that very much look like the picture down here on the bottom. They're great for holding in the front, and then see those little pegs that come up? They're great for turning over and letting them dry once you wash them. Test tubes can be used for either liquids or solids. Sometimes it has units, but most of the time, and the ones that we'll use, really don't. The reason why you would use a test tube is you would use it for really observations, for mixing two things to see what would happen. So the TBB, or the triple beam balance, as I like to call it, is used for measuring mass. You guys have probably used these before. Big deal, please make sure you zero it before you start using it. I've had poor students do work all day just to realize that their triple beam balance was not zeroed, and they had to restart the whole day. You use them by moving those weights across until the line is equal, and you calculate it by adding it all together. And again, don't worry if I'm going a little fast in the video here. I just want to introduce you to these pieces of equipment. You'll get a chance to practice with all of them in class. The units for the TBB is grams, or lowercase g. Digital balance, just simply because I don't have the time for you guys to use the triple beam balance. You hit on, you put on whatever it is that you're looking to get the mass of, and it'll actually spit it right out. The only thing that can go wrong with this one is make sure you're on the correct units. Some students have accidentally got them onto ounces or pounds or something like that. So you want to make sure that you're using grams. And if you look at the picture here, you can see the lowercase g. That's how you know it's on grams. Right, a well plate, you'll see these. If you look, there is 4 wells across and 3 down, so there's 12 total. That big space that you see on the side there is actually a place to leave your tools once you've done mixing. Well plates are awesome for mixing liquids and solids. They're good for observing reactions, and we'll use those a lot in forensics. Pipette, you'll use these a lot all year long. They're great to move liquids. It moves them in very small amounts, and you actually measure them out in drops. Most of the pipettes that I have are about the 1 milliliter size. The way you use them is if you squeeze and then submerge them and then let it fill, you'll actually get a full either 1 mil or half a mil, whatever you're using. They're one-time use, so you kind of use them once and throw them away. And the unit for them is actually drops. Alright, that's it for video number 2. So a quick summary of what we went over. We went over all the different kinds of lab equipment. We talked about the TBB, or the triple beam balance, or the digital balance. We talked about graduated cylinders and how to read them. We talked about beakers being good to store liquids, but not necessarily great for reading volume. Pipettes and well plates and test tubes, all good for mixing and watching reactions to occur. I look forward to seeing you guys in class, or if we're in class together, I look forward to talking to you soon.